Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got a guest on the line. It's our friend Aaron from the Orange County Library System. How you doing, Aaron?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
It's always good to talk to you, and I know that Sam always gives us like a little download on what we're going to discuss. So let's jump into that quickly because before the show, Tom and I got completely off topic and started talking to you about men's fashion and glasses.
No,
and
it's not about fashion.
An old man's eyeballs, and
No.
Tom apparently is wearing a dead man's glasses that he found in a drawer.
No.
So before we get to all of that, let's talk a little bit about, because I actually went to the website oclsfriends.info and I signed up for the advocacy alerts, but I honestly don't know what I signed up for, and I was hoping you would explain that to me a little bit.
So when the legislature is thinking about passing some kind of bill that might have an impact on libraries, especially one that could be negative, we kind of try to mobilize people to say, hey, contact your legislator and let them know how you feel about this. Because occasionally they don't necessarily know, that cutting funding on one thing might have an impact on libraries.
Right.
We know. So we're paying attention to that. And we try to make sure that our people who love the library know about those things and can help us get the word to the legislators about what's going to hurt us and what's going to help us.
Yeah, it's funny too when you think about libraries less of a library and more of like a old world center of knowledge. It's funny when I think about it like that, when I just flip the switch in my brain and say not a library, let's just think of it as like the town square center of knowledge.
Yeah.
It's important to have these because this is what kind of holds society together and makes us as a group more intelligent and educates ignorant people and stuff like that. So it's extremely important to have your thumb on these things and help our libraries and kind of know what's going on, what's being voted on, what's being voted off, stuff like that. And again, you can go to OCLS Friends.
OCLS Friends, yeah.
Yeah, oclsfriends.info. And you can sign up, find out everything that they're doing right there.
Right. And that group and that website, the reason I wanted to talk to you about this today, it's a really unique situation. They're not part of the library. They are an independent, all volunteer group of people who care about libraries and take out of their own time, out of their own pockets, do what they can to support us. So they do things like those advocacy alerts, but they fund things too that the library budget might not otherwise cover. Because like we have money, we have a big budget, but it's all like salaries and it's building maintenance and it's important things, books, stuff that we have to do. And then the friends help us do things that otherwise we might not be doing because they'll fund it for us. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Now, do you guys like let the friends know what your needs are? Do they raise money for things that they want? I'm curious how that goes. Like, do you guys suggest like, hey, we need this, and they raise money for it, or do they like, hey, we want to raise money for this? Can we facilitate that? How does that work?
It's a little bit of both. So sometimes they'll have an idea. We have these, they're called all literacy stations. They're for early learning for kids to learn how to use computers. And the friends discovered these and thought they were really a great tool. And we weren't planning on buying them, but they bought them for every single library location because they thought kids should have access to these tools. So that was something that they brought on. But then there's other things like they'll have some money in their budget and they'll raise money for, just we want to have a special project. And they might come to us and say, give us like 5 ideas for things that you would love to do that you wouldn't do if we didn't fund it. And then they can decide which of those projects they're going to do. So that's how we bought sewing machines at a lot of our libraries. That was one of the projects we gave them as a wish list, and they decided to fund that for us.
And I've been there to see that the sewing machines, man, these things get used. I mean, I'm telling you what. I mean, it's funny, too, because this is almost like a very organic way. I might steal this idea from you guys for our listeners. Because think about it. Isn't it super smart to kind of empower your own group? I mean, they're already there anyway. And giving them sort of their own task and voice. It's almost like a street team without being a street team. It's very organic. And then they organically tell you what they need, so you're not wasting money.
Yeah, but
it's brilliant.
But our friends of the show aren't going to organize themselves this
they
well.
Will waste our money. Yeah,
but also they'll take the money. They'll raise the money and be like,
they will take the
where's
money.
Where's our friends? They're gone.
So this is a nice way of Tom telling you we don't have any friends.
Yeah, because the Friends of the Library is a 501c3 charitable organization.
Our guys are bye bye. See you later. Yeah.
Aaron, I know we were talking about a goofy subject before the start, but
We were talking about an important subject. It just wasn't on topic, sir.
Well, it's about glasses. Now,
for people that can't see Erin, she looks great because she always has like a nice pair of like fashionable and like. Right, Sam? How do I say this without being creepy? She's got like nice,
fashionable's fine.
Yeah, okay. She's got fashionable glasses on, but they fit her face. They look good. And I got to get new glasses, but I don't want the little ones. And then you don't have any glasses. Your wife told me yesterday you don't have any anymore.
Well, I lose my glasses all the time, Aaron. And how, like,
just like Mr. Magoo.
Well, and you brought up the fact that if you needed them to see, you wouldn't lose them. But my son Tommy needs his glasses to see. Loses them all the time.
Better to not see.
And it makes sense because he's my son, and this is what the vans do.
Yeah.
We
Does
lose
he just
our
randomly
things.
take them off?
Yeah, and then he just hides in his own mind.
every night he takes them off before he goes to sleep, but it's in a different place. Like sometimes it's in the bathroom, sometimes it's in his bedroom on his dresser, sometimes it's in like the kitchen counter. And then so in the morning, like he's eating breakfast, he's trying to look at something, he's cross-eyed, and I'm like, Tommy, where's your glasses? And then he's like, I have no idea. He never knows. And then I'm like, well, that I gave that to you because
gotta give him the little chain.
I can't find my. Well,
no, you can't have a 7-year-old using a eyeglass chain.
So now I'm thinking, do I go contacts? You
can't do contacts. I'm sorry to say that, sir.
But there are contacts you can wear for a month at a time.
There are.
Yeah, and also you'll wear them for 2 months and your eyeballs will fall out.
Yeah, you'll forget you have them in.
But
I'll tell you, the way to go is daily wear. You get the ones that you take out every night. You put them in the morning, throw them away at night.
Yeah.
Way easier than
my wife has those. Andrea has those, but she also has next to her sink.
So it just becomes a routine.
Yeah, next to her sink, there is a pallet of contacts because it's every day. And my wife's a planner, so next to her sink there is a wooden pallet.
Oh my god!
Costco pallet?
I mean, to the ceiling, a Costco pallet of contacts because she's like that every day. This is every day for a year.
See,
it's too much, man. I don't like.
The one thing I don't like about contacts, and this is going to sound ridiculous, is that I like not being able to see. And then I put my glasses on, and then I'm like, whoa!
But that's what contacts do.
No, but the
contacts you can rock one so you can see when you want to, when you don't want to see, you close the other eyeball.
But contacts you put in the morning, and then you see all day. There's not that like all of a sudden like, whoa! I can see like every day. Like,
are you like the whoa?
It's a special moment when you put your glasses
Aaron,
on, and then you're like, I can see now.
Aaron, is that why you wear glasses? Is you like the whoa of the? Is that?
The wondrous moments of vision,
Tom is
it's like a little miracle. It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas, every morning you put somebody like, my eyes work again. This is amazing.
I'm sorry, Aaron. We're not going to waste any more.
Yeah, we'll get you back into your meetings and you're doing like real adult things.
So again, ocls.info for all information about the Orange County Library System.
And oclsfriends.info was if you want to sign up, so maybe you can volunteer, maybe you can help out. You can get those advocacy alerts and kind of find out what's happening and what is impacting our local library system. Aaron, thank you as always for being on the show, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Happy holidays, okay?
Happy holidays to you. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye. That is Aaron live from the Orange County Library System. I got a friend that just got a bigger job there. Man, that library systems, our library system is no joke here.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Well, it's amazing the amount of free education you can get from the Orange County Library System. Like in all even the stuff, the trade stuff you can learn. Like when you were talking about like Maisie went to some of these labs and like learning.
I was showing that to your wife yesterday. She did like voiceover for like Finding Nemo.
That's cool.
And
because like
I would have loved to do that as a kid.
Dude,
I do
can
realize.
You imagine little Danny recording all of his little dumb little voices and crap like that?
Because
in a professional setting.
In a professional setting with millions of dollars worth of equipment.
It made me realize, like, you know, I try to do these different things with my son so that I want to believe that it helps them learn a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it does.
And
it
like
shows
the golf and the music
yeah, they're
or whatever.
experiencing everything so they know a lot about a little.
But I forget about
a lot, I mean.
like you know, I'd like for them to learn about like coding and computers and like even, you know, they do these little like workshops and stuff where you'll learn how like the basics of coding and things like. I'm like that. at least exposing them to that is probably way more valuable than them learning how to play golf. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't disagree with you
I
there.
will say I did see Tommy and Max at Drive Shack, and those lessons are not doing.
Oh, you were saying coding.
well, they
all
don't
day
practice.
coding.
Again, they practice nothing.
They're no Tiger Woods.
Well,
I
you're
think,
right. If you get them into the idea that once that switch flips, where they realize that the coding is how video games are made, or once they get into that world, you're right. I can't argue with you at all. I mean, both have their merit, but one of them could actually get you a job later. Like one of them you could actually have a skill that I'm not saying most golfers, like in order to be a professional golfer, that's some serious luck, right?
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to be a professional golfer or anything. It's just like I just like them kind of getting a taste of the basics when they're young, because I really think when you're young, that's when all your brain's firing the most. I mean,
would it shock you to tell you that I remember all my golf lessons at Southridge and DeLand? I remember every single one of them. I remember going there with my dad. I remember putting on the little.
I didn't even know golf lessons was an option as a child.
The warm up.
I never did any of this, by the way.
Me
I
either.
never did any lesson, nothing.
We had it wasn't very nice. I don't even know if it's still there. Look up Southridge Golf Club in DeLand. There's this little tiny course, and Dad would take us to Southridge, and we'd play, and it was fun, man. I loved it.
I just like ingraining into some basic, like just the swing, and like I feel like you're learning it while you're young. It stays with you, longer. But I got to remember, like computers and other things like knowledge like that also stays with you, and learning basics will help you. I mean, especially computers are only going to be more and more prevalent in our society, and you're going to have to, you can't be a dumb old man because I can't teach them anything.
No, I know.
I'm to the point where it's almost embarrassing.
Dude, same with me. Maisie shows me games on her iPad or things that she's playing. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, but you can get through it. I mean, you understand the basics of what you
I
need
do. I
to
still play video games too, so
you are advanced in our society when it comes to computers.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
But I am far behind. I say far behind, but none of my friends from Miami, like Turkey Leg, Harlem mechanic, he doesn't know any computers.
Well, that's a Spanish thing, right? Is this like a Spanish stereotype? All of my friends that are Spanish real men are not good at computers.
Yeah, but all my white realmen, blue collar job guy friends aren't know any computers.
Count the wizard. He's too high dollar.
Well, he works for the government, and all he does is work on computers.
Middle class, yeah. But he's just inputting data, right? It's not like he's getting in there and coding.
No, hell no. They don't know anything.
So I would put him at the same, just a nut hair higher than you. I'm not going to let you assassinate yourself.
No, he's way higher. No. I mean, I'm not.
Can he build a machine?
No. But he can go on,
But he can load software on there. And
he knows how to work Excel or what. It's like
I don't even know how to do that. That's
some days
idiot.
I can't even. Oh, I'm locked out of my Oculus.
I'm locked out of mine too. I wonder if it has something to do with VR bangers.
What do you mean you're locked out?
I can't get in it.
Well, mine is telling me you have to go.
You have to
and
do the
reset.
code with the. You have to swoop the code with your
but
antenna, and I can't remember my code. I thought it was a number 4, but.
No. That's mine's saying you have to go and reactivate your account, and I can't. I enter in my both email addresses, and they both say we don't recognize this. And I'm like, which one did I sign up with? And so now I don't know.
Travis at Tom and Dan.
I don't remember which one I signed up. This is a lot of my problem. Like I'll sign up for something, and I'm like, which email did I use? What's the password? And then I'm like, and then it's locked out.
Locked out of life. Locked out of heaven. Bruno Mars.
And then Crystal's like, "You're an idiot. What are you doing? Why can't I'm
trying to get on VR bangers.
It's one or the other, and why can't you figure this out?" And I'm like, I just have a problem.
I've gotten tired with it. Can I admit something to you guys? Like I used to, when we started this podcast 13 years ago, God, the kids all run together. When we started this 13 years ago, I was good at passwords, but now I will go to do something and put in the email, and then it'll be put the password in, and I have tried and true passwords. If it doesn't work, I'll just close the thing, and I won't go there. I'll just
give up. I give up.
I give up. And I'm telling you this to make you feel better. I'll get to a point Where is it my regular email address, my personal? Is it the 3 that I have for the show? Because I have like show, Dan, hello. I've got all these different ones that, are linked to something. We got the MailChimp, we got the this and that, and I'm linked to all of them. And then some days, like somebody is like, do you have the password for the thing? And I'll try like 3 of them, and then I'll just close it out. I'll be like, it's impossible. It can't be done. Can't be done.
Yeah. That's when you reach.
So I know what you feel.
Man,
I know. Yeah, you reach a point where you're just like, I don't care about this anymore. If it's not easy,
yeah.
I don't want to open it. It must not matter.
Yeah.
Because like, why is this so difficult? Why can't it just be? And don't even get me started on 2-step, 4-step. What is it? 2, 3, 4-step verification.
I'm like, please don't even put a password.
I don't like. They're like, we just texted you a code, and then I'm like, okay, and then they're like, put in the code, and then now we just emailed you a code. Put in the emailed code. I'm like, no, I put in the password. Open up the goddamn software. I don't want 2 steps. I don't like 3 steps. I don't like 4 steps. Hit it. I don't like any of that. I don't like any of the steps.
I don't even need a password.
No, just open the software. Anybody can use my software. I don't give a damn.
I don't care.
Steal my money. Take it. I don't care.
It's not even money. It's like, I don't. You can go on my email.
You're going to look at it. What are you going to look at? You're going to look at how.
It's like, I don't care. Like, you could go into my Oculus. Who's going to
But it's what? So, they say that this is for your protection, that this is quick. It's never quick. There's like 2-step. We gave you the code. You enter the code. Now hold up your camera. Get the QR. You get the QR, and then we're going to route you through. Okay, please hold. It's going to go. It's going to pass. Oh, not happening. I just closed the browser. I didn't need to do it. I didn't need to do it. You know what? It's my fault for even using technology. It makes me just want to go sit. You know what? I'm going to go sit and look at the sky.
Feed some pigeons.
This is why people feed pigeons. Because they can't remember their goddamn passwords. They get so effing mad because they can't do any of their passwords, and it's like 2-step this, 3-step this, 4-step. Oh, then it's sending Tom a code. Then I got to text you. I'm like, MailChimp sent you the code. You're like, hold on, here's the code. You send me the code. I put in the code. They're like, sorry, it's out of date. You got to do it again.
Expired.
And I texted you again. Or do this one quicker, Tom, a little faster. You send it. You know what? Close out my phone. I'll go down here, get a bag of bread, just a bag of bread. I'm going to sit toppings. Toppings. I'll just sit there and throw toppings to the birds.
Oh, man. All right. Let's take a quick break.
That felt good. God, I needed to get that out.
All right.
Woo!
We'll take a break.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That's funny.
And then are we going to do Spencer for 1?
Spencer for hire.
We'll do.
Where's that go?
Monday 2.
Monday 2.
But that's Monday 2 for next.
Yes, it's a different time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because.
What date?
For the. Hold on.
The 19th.
Oh, we already had it on 19th, right?
We do?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got the whole 19th is done.
Yeah. So did you mean the following, so the 26th?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, 26th.
Okay.
Okay, ACT. Spencer calling, coming in.
Him and Jeff will be coming in.
Oh, great. And that was 2, right?
Yeah.
3.
No, 2. 2. We'll go back and do 1. We'll just do a voicemail email for 1, and then.
You said that was 2.
Yeah, 2.
Oh, it's gonna get squirrely.
It is, right?
We'll get it. I got it all in my head.
Where your glasses are too. Oh man. Okay. So then.
I gotta tell my wife to plug in my Oculus. I always forget to plug it in.
Yeah.
And I want to play it.
So Spencer will be today. Where are we throwing Spencer?
Spencer's today, but we'll put him Monday too, so that we'll start off with just some weekend stuff.
Okay.
So we'll just do a 20 with him, and then come back.
I got some stuff for him. So we're just waiting on Spence?
No, Tom doesn't read the chat because he never turns his computer on anymore. I think he forgot the password on how to log into it.
He's a two-step. It's a two-step authentication.
Lately,
Is it still a giant dick as the background photo?
yeah, I think.
You know,
we didn't even.
Can we talk about that and how horrifying of a photo that was? I felt bad that you shared that in the group chat. In fact, I was hoping Samantha wasn't. I was hoping Samantha wasn't screenshotting that and sending it directly to Mo. Also, my penis looks a little bit like that. So I looked at it and I'm like,
it looks like a fish.
Yeah, when did he get
a fish?
Harvey Weinstein.
It looks like a fish. I got to witness Tommy Van wolf down a hamburger.
Yeah, he likes a hamburger every once in a while.
A tiny hamburger? Yeah, I like a good tiny hamburger. All right, we coming back or are we waiting for Spencer?
We're
waiting, right?
Yeah, because it's only they should be here within a few minutes.
I will say that so when we were leaving Baldwin yesterday,
what were you doing in Baldwin?
We went to Gators.
Damn, no invite. I love Gators.
I'm always
feeling weird to invite her when it's like we're getting smashing the kids together so they can run and
yeah. It's
frolic.
Not very fun.
Yeah.
For you, I feel like because there's the kids is mainly about the kids all the time, and then what do you give a shit about the kids? You know, what I'm saying you don't want to hang out with some kids. And then stand around as they scooter up and down the goddamn lake. It's not fun for you. It wouldn't be fun for me if it wasn't my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be standing there like, oh, God.
These fucking kids.
Yeah. But with my kids, I don't watch them. It's fun.
But you were leaving Baldwin. What were you saying?
Oh, and then Tommy wants to, Crystal was like, oh, do anybody want to ride with Dad? And then so Max is like, I want to ride with Mom. And then Tommy's like, I'll ride with Dad. And then me and Tommy are walking.
We ride quiet.
We walk. He's like, I chose you, Dad. I was like, why? He's like, Mom and Max like to listen to music. I like to listen to talk. And so
oh, wow.
And his new thing. And then this morning, I'm listening to
he's a little dumb old man.
Boring.
I love it.
What are you listening to?
Rush Limbaugh.
No,
the
sports
ghost of Rush Limbaugh.
Gambling
podcast.
Does
he even listen or watch sports?
No, he doesn't.
He just likes the camaraderie of being with his dad.
He just doesn't like music. He hates listening to music, and he likes listening to talk. And then I'm like, you like this? Because I tell him, like, you can't like this. It's not
interesting.
It's Bill Simmons or some other dude talking about the NFL. And then it's like, and Tommy's like, I like it.
Why don't you let him hear a little Tom and Dan? We might have our next intern.
Because it's not appropriate.
Panty Boy Jr., son of Tom, Panty Boy Jr.
I let him listen to ACT. I
think we got people. All right, set change, guys. Please hold. You know the drill. Song actually sounds like we're in an elevator or something. Please hold. Let me fix the camera a little bit. It's gonna look a lot better. This guy here. Come on. That's way better.
Spencer and his dad.
All right.
Oh, Spencer, did you see the story about the privately funded moon mission they want to do, like some Japanese billionaire.
No, I hadn't seen this.
Oh, okay, it just came out of them. But we'll talk about like privately funded space missions.
Let's do it.
All right. Mr. Van, would you like to begin?
Sure.
Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome back to a corporate time. So we've got some friends in studio. Spencer and Jeff are here from the Orlando Science Center. Of
What's
course,
up, guys?
Hey,
Hello.
how you doing?
good.
So of course we're continuing to promote the VIP planetarium tour.
The VITP. VITP. What is that? That sounds naughty.
And it's a VIP tour for up to 10 people now through March. I know a bunch of BDMs have already gone,
yeah.
and they love it. It's a great Christmas gift, by the way, for anybody that loves space and you want to give a really cool, unique experience.
Super unique, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like a grandparent giving this to his grandkids would be a cool gift for Christmas.
That's a good idea for me, for Andrea's granddad. He's like 98, 99.
Does he listen to this? Because that's not going to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does, but he also he's a big Florida guy, like he's a big nature guy, and I don't think he's ever done that. So this is a good idea. I might have to see what I can do.
Yeah. So make sure to get your tickets. You can go to tomanddan.com. So Spencer, I saw a couple stories, and that's why we had you in today, because one of them being, and Daniel showed this to me, there's a billionaire, a Japanese billionaire that's privately funding a mission to the moon, and he, I guess he named his crew already.
Yeah, the Dear Moon crew. Japanese billionaire Yasaku Maezawa has picked his companions for his SpaceX first all-civilian mission to the moon.
And the funny part for us is one of them is Steve Aoki, and then we're like, Steve Aoki to the moon.
Yeah, there's like, yeah. That one actually made me laugh. You can see him. He's there to the right of, I guess, the billionaire.
So, and this kind of makes sense as like more and more like space is becoming more and more privatized, and this is kind of like For All Mankind, the kind of premise of that, the Apple TV series about like private companies versus government,
sure,
and the space race and how it could go in the future, and it's kind of happening before our eyes right now, where like private companies are like building rockets and SpaceX, and and then if you have enough money, you could basically pay to do it. Now, getting to the moon, obviously super expensive and hard to do, but not that much of an accomplishment for humankind, because we already did that.
If you want to know more about this,
60 plus years ago.
Well, this particular project, it's called Dear Moon. It says this project was launched in 2018 after the billionaire purchased all seats of a 6-day trip to the moon from SpaceX. It will fly a single circumlunar trajectory around Earth's faithful companion, and it is expected to take place sometime next year. Though the actual date depends on the Starship's development, they're saying. So there you go.
So my question to you, Spencer.
I would never do this, by the way. I'm very scared of it. Like, extremely frightened. Like,
well, I mean, think about it.
You didn't let me finish. I am extremely frightened of Steve Aoki.
Okay.
Yeah. I have an intense fear.
He's got to throw one cake in space.
Yeah, one space cake.
Space cake.
Yeah, space cake.
But some people may look at this story and be like, well, okay, well, we've already been to the moon. Why is this a big deal? But
this is a huge deal.
But I look at it as more of a great marketing experience for like space travel, and just like it's good for the marketing of us adventuring more into space, and I feel like this can only help
excitement,
people's excitement about space, and then would only help all of us, the whole globe, find out more about our universe. What do you think, Spencer?
I think I mean, for sure, anyone going into space is a great idea. I think it's awesome, right? It's how we're going to progress faster. The Artemis missions are the ones that the NASA is and other international space companies are trying to get to the moon with right now. And Artemis is awesome, and it's got all kinds of really great scientific objectives.
Yeah.
But it's using outdated technology. The exciting thing about this is that they can use some of the SpaceX rockets, and it's not just SpaceX. Well, these guys are using SpaceX, but there's other companies out there, Boeing, and I think that are using reusable rockets, and that really is where the future of space travel is. The issue with Artemis is that they're locked to these single-use SLS systems right now. They cost $2 to $4 billion per launch instead of $100 million, right? And so it's just, we have like an awkward 5 to 10 years of space travel for NASA specifically right now for human space travel. So this really is their chance.
Why are they locked to that particular system?
The Congress and just how it's just the history of how it's been developed. This thing has been in research for decades at this point, and just like the way that the political structure works and feeds into NASA, it's just how it has to be for it to get off the ground, literally. I mean, a lot of NASA scientists, I'm sure, are looking at the reusable rockets and they're like, yeah, we wish we could do that now. And they're probably going to be investing into that in the future. But we've already spent so much money and time on this SLS that we have to kind of use it.
So it is like, and for those of you who haven't watched For All Mankind, I'm sure they had inside information about like, all right, this is it's already happening now, but this, like, they probably know what's happening as we go forward. And they're seeing this like, all right, the government is trying to get to the moon. Now we've got this Japanese billionaire, SpaceX, and other like privatized groups trying to get there, and they have more money and more technology than the government does, and the government has this tried and true
they don't have the
systems.
Hoops. But and all the checks and balances and getting
the
things
politics
approved
behind it, and then the private companies have unlimited money, but they have like the eccentric owner. It's kind of like they've portrayed what's actually happening in real life, which is super interesting. But it is true. Like, the government is kind of handcuffed by the fact that they're funding all this with tax dollars, so there's politics involved, and things are slow to move. And then with the billionaires, they could just buy anything they want, the best technology, whatever they could buy, right?
I think it's interesting what you said, because you mentioned that the government has both more money and more red tape to get through.
Orange tape.
Or rather, you said the private people have more money, but it is the government specifically that does have more money in this case. We've spent like $50 billion on the Artemis missions. This Japanese billionaire is not a 50 billionaire. He's not spending $50 billion on this project. Elon is, I'm sure, 10 billion, something ridiculous. But his SpaceX is a fraction of that wealth, right? And so the government is spending much, much more money. It's just that they have to go through those hoops to get stuff done, whereas private companies are more flexible, like you're saying.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's like, all right, the government spending more money, has technically more money. We print our own money.
Yeah.
But because of the red tape and politics and the things have to get voted on and stuff, they, they're slower, and they are technically, it's more expensive for them, which is less efficient. And it's playing out like the damn show, which is pretty interesting. But regardless, all of this will help us like be more interested in doing more things like this, and like eventually getting to Mars and stuff. But then, and Spencer, this is kind of what I wanted to go to, is like you start looking at like, all right, what's beyond all of this? And like, even if we pulled together all of Earth's resources to build a mega telescope or something, because I'm thinking like, what is our potential? And then if you start looking, I've read some stuff where even if we use like all of Earth got together and used all of our resources to build something, it would be like, we wouldn't be able to see 1/10 of, we're so far behind technologically that it's kind of like, I always look at it like, oh, well, even if we tried our hardest and pulled together all of Earth's resources.
Is this a my vote doesn't count?
Well, we couldn't even get out of the Milky Way.
Is this a why bother? Is that what you're saying?
And then even if we could, it would be...
It sounds like you're saying why bother.
It would be, hundreds of years before we could even get to the closest. And then you look at this and it's like, oh, man, but it shouldn't stop us from wanting to continue to progress, right, Spencer?
It depends on what you're trying to get out of space travel. Personally, as just a giant space nerd who likes to watch YouTube, I'm looking to get science out of it personally. I'm not going to live to see interstellar travel. Like, sure, I want that to happen for humanity or whatever, but I want to know, like, was there life on Mars? What's going on with Titan, this really cool moon out there? And my fear with private space travel is that they're not going to care about any of that. They want to make more money. That's the point of getting up into outer space. They want to make this moon trip a money-making revenue source. They want to add it for tourism. They want to mine asteroids and stuff like that. Now, that technology that they developed to get that stuff done will help us progress science further. But I'm looking to like learn stuff about the universe, right? And that's really what I'm personally passionate about. But if you're passionate about just exploring as far as possible, as fast as possible, for sure, privateering is the way to do that.
So Spencer, I'm glad you brought up like asteroids, and like I know a while back we did some sort of mission where we sent a satellite into an asteroid and
to try the deflection mission.
Yeah. And crash a satellite into an asteroid to, I guess, test if this was possible.
I've always wanted to do that. And it was weird too because they put Bruce Willis on it and fired it. Now that he's like retired from acting because he has some sort of condition.
Do you know about that whole mission, Spencer?
DART.
Yeah,
it's really cool. It's basically our first attempt at a sci-fi story of protecting us from asteroids. There's a couple of different things you can do to protect from an asteroid. This is just the most basic one, which is shoot it with a missile, pretty much.
It's the coolest
American style, right?
It is the most American for sure.
We love projectiles.
There's other cool ones though. You can like put something in orbit around an asteroid that like pulls it with gravity.
That's cooler.
Then you don't have to blow it up.
Yeah, that's even cooler.
Good.
I think it's cooler
because
it's like when you're choosing to play a video game and you can either run in and shoot everybody, or you can use some stealth.
Yeah, now you're talking about
and you can sneak around. Yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about, right? And I'm with Spencer. I think like not blowing it up is cooler, but is it like more risky?
That's what we're testing. That's why we just started with the easy one of throwing a missile at it, right?
And this one, it wasn't going to anywhere come near us. They're just like, let's just try and move this thing.
Well, because the theory being that all you have to do is move it just a little bit, and if it's far enough away that it'll miss Earth, because just that little bit of movement will 1,000 times more as it gets closer, and then miss.
Just like pomade cream, just a tiny bit, just a fingernail.
Yeah.
And
anything more than that, and you got greasy hair.
And then in other news, I saw that the James Webb telescope, and I was going to ask you about this. They have basically witnessed some of the oldest galaxies closest to the Big Bang. Like the galaxies are like 400 million years old. Like we're talking
400
million from the Big Bang. As far as like
excuse me, Spencer. Tom is talking.
Sorry, my bad.
14.
Pardon me, sir.
Yeah, old from the big. So 14.2
Why don't you
billion.
Let Spencer tell
all
us?
right. I really want to tell Spencer that what I've learned on the internet.
He already knows.
Just from reading
I've only read the. I'm looking at Spencer. I feel confident he likes you already. I don't think you need to impress him.
I have to impress him.
No.
With misinformation.
Misinformation. They only read the title to some story, and then I was
the
like,
headline. I got it.
I get the gist.
He's a headline scientist.
Oh my God! Write that down. That's great.
Most people are.
Science. Yeah, most people are headline scientists. So let's go to Spencer, somebody who actually went past the headline. So what are we talking about here?
Yeah, because when I saw James Webb, I'm like, James Webb? What about Hubble? I thought Hubble was the best.
It's like Pluto being no longer a planet. No one cares anymore.
Okay.
Pluto sucks.
Not even a thing.
Hubble sucks. No, I'm kidding. Both of those things are awesome. But yeah, Webb is, it's amazing. What you're saying is true. It's 400 million years. See, you might even have the better headline source than I do. I would have assumed that we have earlier galaxies than even that at this point. But I'm
probably wrong, Spencer. Let's just bet I'm at 92%. I said the wrong number.
We're thinking of changing the name of the show to "We're Probably Wrong" with Tom and Dan, which is actually really good name for a show.
Honestly, we could be rebrand.
We're probably wrong.
The big deal here is that we have always known those galaxies are there. We can literally we just cannot see them with Hubble. Hubble does not have the right mirror size and the right kind of vision.
Hubble.
I know.
Piece of junk.
It doesn't see it. I mean, we didn't even know they were there before that. I think I talked about this last time I was here, but the Hubble introduced us to a whole new concept of our universe, right? We didn't know that there were millions or billions of galaxies out there. Hubble taught us that. But ever since then, we've been like, okay, we can see this far, and then there's like a billion years of history we can't see, and then we see the cosmic microwave background that is the afterglow of our Big Bang, and we just didn't see that inner bit there. It was annoying. So yeah, they built the Webb telescope specifically to see the things you're talking about. It does a bunch of other cool stuff too, but the reason we built the darn thing was to get that infrared vision that allows us to see this incredibly red-shifted galaxy that you're talking about. Something
That's
that
so cool.
And it's like the galaxy, it's not just that it's far away, it's that as the light was traveling to us, space is expanding. So the light is getting pulled a little bit. Like the wavelength of the light is getting stretched out. It's becoming redder.
Yes.
It's red shifting. And so even if the light had time to reach us, which it has at this point, it's just that the Hubble can't see it. It doesn't detect like wavelengths that are that stretched out, that infrared wavelength. It just detects more visible light. So the Hubble or the Webb telescope sees like a whole new kind of astronomy, which is awesome, which is infrared astronomy.
So, Spencer, I'm curious to what your favorite theory is about the
I could
universe.
have gone anywhere unless it got scared.
It's the most interesting to you because, like, I think the new thing, like you see people on TikTok talk about theories that are out there, and like one theory being that our universe is just, one universe with there's an infinite amount of universes beyond our universe, and like our Big Bang and the reality we live in is just part of an infinite structure of universes that, like, it's kind of like a multiverse. You start thinking to the point where I'm like, I can't even comprehend it. We're just like, now I can't even comprehend the size of our.
About earlier, where I go like, nope, we're it. We're the only universe. It has to be that way because it's just easier to think that way.
Yeah. And then, because then you start saying there's an infinite amount of other universes. It kind of is a bummer a little bit, where it's like, well,
you know why? Because that means there's an endless supply of island boys somewhere. Like, there's other other island boys.
You see, people talking on TikTok and are like, with that theory, there's another you out there doing the exact same thing that you're doing. I told my wife this. She's like, that can't be. That's not real. I'm like, the theory being that if it's infinite, then mathematically there is another one of you out there in another universe saying the exact same things. And then
can they hear me right now?
That's deja vu, right?
But when you get into that big of a theory, or it's almost like it's not interesting to me because it's so big and so infinite that it's like, well, now it takes what our universe and it doesn't make it special anymore, and we don't even know what's in our universe.
So big it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and our universe is so big it doesn't even matter. Which is like now you're adding an infinite more, and then I'm like, I don't like that one. So what's your favorite?
I mean, I do agree that I think personally that's what's happening. I think there's a multiverse, and there's like 3 points of what you just said here.
Multiverse. I'm Iron Man.
not that level of multiverse. That would be really cool though.
No, you look like Iron Man.
Snap your fingers.
You look like Iron Man.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm looking to have that much money too.
You're gonna train someone just to swirl their arm and then or their finger, and then it creates a hole. But I feel like if you could
you
train
have to do like a hand, like a finger thing.
Yeah,
too.
no,
I mean,
the
come on,
finger.
it's not just a swirl.
Well, the finger thing, but it's
you got to do the finger thing.
I feel like you need some magic for that. You can't just train someone to do that. Like if then you train anybody to do it, it's not special. Like you have to be born the chosen one to be able to do it. Anyway, sorry, Spencer.
Yeah, that I'm not sure if that stuff is real, but the multiverse I'm quite sure is real. Anyway. There's a couple of things. One, I think you have to push through the existentialism, because I've been there where you are at the first level. I call it the first level of existentialism, where you realize...
Oh, going clear. Are we going clear?
Oh,
this is the first level.
Where's my
the
rods?
first level. I need to hold the rods.
The universe is it's just too darn big. We're too darn meaningless. Like, I think that you're emphasizing how there being an infinite number of universes makes our existence less significant. I don't think you're comprehending just the size of our universe. I mean, the number billion is absurd, and there are billions of galaxies and billions of stars and all the billions of things. That, like, our Earth doesn't matter. Regardless of if there's a million trillion universes, our Earth is completely insignificant. So that's like level 1, where it just kind of stinks. But if you push through that, right, you go to the tier 2 existentialism, you embrace it. You're like, actually, it's kind of cool, because nothing I do ultimately matters. All I have to do is just try and do as much good as possible for my life, and then I'm going to end, and then the Earth is going to go away, and all the people will be gone, and nothing matters ultimately.
Everything
yes, that's what Tom's always
but
said.
you just
Nothing
gotta,
matters.
you just gotta push through it.
Yeah. But you're step 1
And then it
and
becomes
step 2.
cool.
I feel nauseous thinking about it now.
Right,
like,
you just
that's how
gotta
emotional I am.
Stare at a galaxy for like an hour every night. Give me like 3 months of that. You'll
Okay.
push through it, and then that's going to be cool again.
I'm trying,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that first, he got through the first one. he's talking about. We're a tiny little planet,
yeah,
and
we're
we
just
don't.
a speck of
And I'm
dust.
like, oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna barf. And then
The
he's like,
chat wants the universe with 2 Toms to try to interview each other.
oh man,
It's infinite.
I don't
would
know.
be pretty
Infinite
cool.
time
There'd
loop.
be no answers, just questions.
Well, wait a minute. It would be one Tom asking a never-ending question, and another Tom actively like just nodding his head. I feel like the entire time.
I like the
Perpetual motion.
the Neil deGrasse Tyson when you weave in like some sort of like emotional poetry into like the fact that we're all stardust and like that's true. It's like all the elements were
That's not
forged
true. I'm not starting.
were forged
You're the
in
How
only
a,
dare
one.
you? I'm not even close to starting.
in stars that exploded out and like that happened so many different times and like that's
Wait a minute.
what
If
we're
I'm
made of.
Stardust, you're Gold Dust.
Oh, man.
And Gold Dust was the brother, the Dustin, the bigger, fatter one.
And then in a long enough timeline, it's so insane we can't even comprehend. And then I started thinking about we can't even understand the difference between a million and a billion. Like and when you start because you start looking at like we were like, oh, million and a billion, I understand. And you're like, no, that's
No, you
that
really
number.
don't.
That number
Yeah.
is so far from each
Right.
other that it's way bigger than you think. And
Yeah.
and then you go into
You
a
do a
trillion.
weird micro calculation of what you think it is, but you really
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have a true.
You're
yeah,
like,
I see what you're
I
saying.
know what $1 and $100. They're like, no. Like this is, and then when the people explain like the difference between a million and a billion, you're like, oh wow, that's bigger than I thought. And then you start going into how many planets and stars there are, and then it's like, man, it's
You
hard.
scare the entire chat room scared right now. Everybody's like, oh my god, I'm insignificant.
much for a Monday.
Yeah, it's heavy ass Universe Monday.
But that makes me and Spencer. See, this is why we're friends.
the two of us.
It's all back to
I
you
don't
and
think
Spencer.
claimed you were friends.
Yeah, he
I think
never
he does.
said
I think he
that.
does.
No,
He
I
tells
could-
his friends.
I can see it.
He's like, I know Tom Van.
I don't think Spencer tells his friends about you.
No,
I
no.
think he told one friend.
Spencer,
I
don't
said I
lie.
met this guy once. I mean, that's pretty
At
good.
some Christmas party.
You can't count Jeff. That's not fair.
Hold on. Spencer, you
I
were.
am not insignificant.
No, you're absolutely not, but you can't. Jeff's in on it.
Hold on, Spencer.
It has to be a stranger.
Right.
I'm sure you're at some Orlando Science Center Christmas party, and
Yeah.
then you were talking to other smart people, and
so
then
many of 'em.
And then you're like, that Tom Van from the podcast, he's not that dumb as everybody
Oh,
thinks.
that's what Spencer said. Spencer
Yeah,
said he's not that dumb.
He's not that dumb.
man.
That may have happened. That may have happened.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
give you that.
yeah. He reads the headlines and he tells me.
He's a
them.
headline scientist.
But he can't read, so it's weird.
Yeah. You mentioned that Neil deGrasse Tyson makes everything poetic, which I think is awesome because I just kind of do the opposite and I just say nothing matters. So it's like I'm the opposite of Neil deGrasse Tyson in that way. But if you really want to get like poetically nothing matters with it, you mentioned how there is another Tom out there that could interview each other, but the reality is there's not just one, there's an infinite number of exactly the same Toms.
Oh, God.
And then
An
there's-
army. Oh my god, an army.
My
And
worst
then there's
nightmare.
a bunch of them that are the same, but they have, I don't know, lighter hair. And then there's a bunch of them that just do something slightly different in their lives. And
Oh, they're more successful.
there are exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the same for me, right?
No, you're the only one.
Yeah, knew it.
Well,
Physically.
and
I knew it.
I promise the last question, but going with that theory, it's kind of like if you beyond the universe and the infinite universe theory, there's that theory when it comes to planets in our own universe, where it's like, all right, and we've talked about this before, but like life on other planets and stuff. And by the way, I'm curious to like when they eventually, and I'm sure they will, like drill far enough into Mars and then get into some ice down there and find some microbe that proof of some living
some life.
organism. Do you think it's going to be spun into some, I'm sure it is for the first part of like some political thing where everybody's arguing whether it's real or not? I mean,
most things spiral into some sort of argument anyway.
well,
right?
conspiracy and
Yeah.
stuff like I feel like we got into some point where even if they did find that and then they brought it back, there will be people that will be like, this is fake. There's
I
no
mean,
way
there's
this
plenty that don't
possible.
believe in the moon landing. You're
Yeah,
going to add
yeah,
alien
yeah,
life to that. I think it's going to be a struggle. Yeah.
And then when they like these private tours go to the moon, and do you think they'll be able to get out, walk around? like we'll have full HD camera footage of
yeah.
everything. We'll have
Steve Aoki will be able to get out and walk around on the moon. Nobody else thinks that's weird.
and,
Oh, it's weird.
Nobody else thinks it's weird
they-
that Steve Aoki
Can
will
they-
get
so
out.
is he studying to be like an
No,
astronaut?
he's
now?
on the crew.
I don't
Yeah.
think you need to be.
No, they're just gonna
nowadays.
suit him up and
Okay.
stick him
You're
out
some
there.
guy,
Just
I
throwing
think
people
it's
out
Yeah,
in space.
and it's just
Alright.
like
Yeah.
going on. It's just like going on any excursion in the Bahamas. You just hold the rope and ride your donkey.
Well, it's just like for
And-
all mankind, like they don't need a pilot anymore. This is not the 1960s.
Right,
It's like you need
right,
some
right.
GI Joe. Like, oh, land this.
Yeah,
Like,
we need a grunt to fly us in.
Computers will do it. They'll land you on the moon. You get out. Aoki will walk around.
Yeah.
But
He'll throw a cake.
can you broadcast live, or are there still like a massive, hours
know.
delay?
The moon's fine. The moon's great. It's a few seconds, so you're totally fine. And the really exciting thing about Artemis is that they are going to bring super HD cameras with them, right? We're not looking at that like grainy, barely visible footage from the 69, 70s. We're going to have these incredible cameras. I mean, they're going to put down like VR cameras on the moon too and on Mars, and I think that's the really exciting stuff because you get to step into VR and
Not Tom. He doesn't have his password.
Man, I do that sometimes just to screw with myself because
Yeah.
I suffer from crippling anxiety, Spencer.
Sure.
I
And I'll-
did this too,
And
and
I
it
put
tripped
on
me
my,
out.
my VR, and then I go into the space station thing.
You
and
go
then
and sit
and
Indian style on the moon
No,
like
I
Dr.
go-
Manhattan?
I go and I hit the button, and you can go, and you'll be on the satellite,
Yep.
and you're out like standing on the satellite, and you feel like your body is just hanging out over space.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
And it makes you it instantly makes me nauseous. I'm just like, all right,
yeah.
back out of that. That's crazy.
Is
It's
there-
so cool though. It's like addicting to do. You jump in, jump out, jump in. It's crazy the amount
Yeah,
of depth.
it's worth vomiting
And
for.
it's only going to get better. Like that's like not even good footage. That's like crap footage. I can't wait to see what they do with the new stuff.
Speaking of satellites, have you seen like the Facebook or the video that's floating around about how much junk is flying
Yeah.
around our
It
Earth?
made me
Like,
sad.
There
Yeah,
are
we've junked up space.
There's so many satellites flying around Earth that I knew there was a lot, but it was like, whoa, look at this. I mean,
Yeah.
but apparently
I think we should start fighting them like battle bots in the sky.
they crash
That's
into
one way to
each
get
other.
rid of them, yeah.
We should like harness them somehow
Right.
and then shoot them at each other. And
See, that's privatizing it too, because right now we're dealing with that concept of space junk where maybe it'll create this like shell of debris where we can't even leave the planet. It's like a whole concern.
Oh, that's
right
like
now.
Wall-E. Like,
Oh, yeah, full on.
Break through the shell of garbage.
It is a problem. But if we privatize it and we turn it into battle bots, we'll get rid of all the satellites, right? Because then we fund it. We give $1 million for a season winner or something. Look it up there. We'll take care of the problem.
Or maybe we do like what people do when a boat gets left in a canal and it's expensive. You gotta like, we're space junk haulers. And you fly up there,
Oh, yeah.
then you gotta break this thing up and drag it back
Yep.
down to Earth somehow. Or maybe it's not even a manned mission, right? You're just using your man-made space rocket to fly up and break up the junk or fly back down.
yeah.
Or
Then
something like that.
then
Then
I'm-
you scrap it. You're taking all the copper out of it to get pain pills.
I'm
and-
whistling, and is there an arrow flying around?
yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
All right,
that's probably not even. That's probably actually going to happen. Maybe not the whistling arrow thing, but I mean, it's just some guy's going to get up there with his own rocket because they're not going to be that expensive in 100 years, and they'll go up there. They'll make a TV show out of space junkers.
Oh, that's what
you
this
know?
guy's doing too. I guess this billionaire he hired a guy that does like this YouTube channel called Everyday Astronaut. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but he's one of the guys on the crew. So
Oh, that's so exciting.
like he's kind of like layered it with people that already have like some sort of like they're kind of into it. So I'm guessing Aoki already is into this, and he's like a bit of a moon man himself. So.
I imagine I'm going to be watching this. I mean, how are
Yeah,
you
I
not?
would watch
Like,
the hell out of it.
Right.
The whole world will be watching people walk on the moon, mess around, like just start messing around, going to the moon, and then there'll be people going to the moon. I bet often.
I
right?
really like Spencer's
vacation?
idea for space pickers. Somebody said space junkers in the chat room, but space pickers is better.
Yeah.
And you bring back those two guys, the skinny guy and the fatter guy. You bring them back. Like I think one of them passed away. I think the little guy died.
Spencer, thanks so much for coming in, and we appreciate it.
Anytime.
And if you may be lucky enough to get Spencer on your
might.
private VIP.
It happened to some guy
planetarium.
just the last time, or on Saturday when I was there. Yeah, they definitely listened to this program. And
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, cool, awesome. Yeah,
was cool.
because someone from Orlando Science Center will be with you during your tour to explain everything and answer all your questions.
It's cool. You get to go in little areas that normally people don't traverse. So So
Yeah, it's very private, and there's a few people, so you have like multiple space nerd perspectives. Like it might be me, it might be other people, but like if you want this level of conversation, you just want to nerd out about space. That's where you do it.
My wife was out in our cul-de-sac with our telescope watching Mars go behind the moon this week.
Yeah, God, it was so good.
and she was out there.
I was impressed with her telescope. It actually looked pretty decent, man. I mean, it doesn't look like what you're going to look at the science center, but it's pretty good.
We bought ours on Alibaba.
Yeah, it's not bad. I was impressed.
That's where we bought ours as well.
From what he had, though, I was like super impressed. Like, not bad.
It's
not
a
bad
clear Baba.
Yeah, it's a good. It was a very clear Baba.
But like Mars actually, and it was the first time, or it won't happen again for another like 4 to 5 years or something like that. And you
telling Spencer? Passing that nugget on to Spencer so he can.
I had never heard of Mars, so this is actually fascinating to me.
Tell him more about Mars.
Mars?
Yeah, it's awesome.
We were looking at it in the Alibaba telescope, and when you look at Mars, you forget how fast we're moving because it was like,
yeah,
and was like you were having to follow it, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm looking at it, it's still.
And you will learn all about that when you go because they
100%.
tell you all about the software and the different ways that it has to like counter.
Track.
It has to counter that movement, right? Because you're ripping through the sky. And then when I thought about that, standing inside the dome, I started to get nauseous again because I'm a little baby. I'm like, we are ripping through the sky right now.
And again, they only do this Friday and Saturdays, so it's limited and it goes until March. So get your tickets now.
Yes, sir.
TomandDan.com, and you can click on the Orlando Science Center VIP Planetarium Tour link. Spencer, Jeff, thanks so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Seeing you guys.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk to you again next year. Have a good holiday. All right, we'll be right back.
Awesome. Is it? Are we coming back and doing another segment?
Yeah,
we are, right?
Yeah.
Set change, guys. Please hold.
We did over the weekend, and then
Hey, and we're back.
we can go back and do Monday one in 2 weeks to finish that segment out there. Yeah.
Do you have our accountants need the password? If you want to send that to them.
Passwords.
Yeah, give them the password on the stream. Yeah, Jeff is a sweet man. He's a good dude. The Science Center people are pretty darn cool. Did I even save this one? I don't know if I did. Where's this go?
Monday 2.
12/12. So I was reading more. They're not going to actually be landing on the moon.
Oh, they're just going around it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to circle it for 3 days.
I don't want to be inside a ship for 3 days. That's nuts. Worse than a cruise.
But I mean, that's a cool fucking
Oh,
experience.
yeah.
I mean, imagine you're flying around the moon, you're seeing Earth, like you're doing the shit that you grew up in. There was in history books, and now you're doing it, and you're fucking Steve Aoki.
And I'm lying.
And some other
I would
guys,
do it because it's a legendary thing. It's not something that you would pass
It's
up
scary.
because it's it'd be super scary.
Yeah,
but I also think that they don't make it as scary as it like it's not as scary as it's not as scary as like the way it used to be when you're literally like Joe Kittinger. You're flipping one switch, you're blowing your hands are frozen. You're literally you get up there, you're half dead when you arrive.
I'm sure that like your chances of dying are less than 1%, or whatever.
Probably about the same as going to a carnival and riding any carnival ride.
Yeah.
It's about the same. Because those carnivals are dangerous as fuck.
Yeah.
But people ride them all the time, so I'm just trying to put it into layman's terms. I bet you it's very close. Maybe even the carnival's a touch more, but it's fucking scary. You could die. I used to live for those fucking carnivals, dude. I remember riding a scrambler one time that was going up and down because it wasn't weighted correctly. I remember being in one. I was like, and we'll stop it. We'll even it out. All right, what are we doing here?
Just
About 10?
Just 10 minutes, and we'll just talk about
10 minutes in heaven
over the weekend.
All right, I'll bring us back. This isn't a beginning, is it?
It's a beginning.
It is a beginning?
the beginning.
Okay, I'll start then. Here we go. 3, 2. It is another corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Hey, Sam.
Hi.
We're going to be at the Solar Bears game on Friday, December 16th.
That's right. Bring your teddy bears.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Bring your teddy bears.
Bring your teddies.
Because you're going to throw them on the ice that night.
Put your teddies on the ice.
Put
your teddies on the ice.
Remember when they used to throw
frogs and fish?
Rats and squid?
That was, the rats, that was a
Florida
Panthers.
Yeah.
The squid.
They still do the squid, I think.
They do? I don't think you should throw squid. I'm
No, I don't
anti squid. How do you even get that in? Did they bring?
I think they smuggle it in their pants.
No, you wrap it in paper, right?
But you put it in your pants. You have to
put the squid in your pants.
Yeah, because they don't want people.
You can't carry it in.
Yeah.
I don't carry squid. I'm sorry. I'm not a.
Well, they won't let you bring it in because they don't want you throwing it on the ice.
I don't think anybody should do that.
No, you shouldn't.
Well,
how did it start with squid?
Well, I remember how the rat thing started. Like, some Florida Panther player killed a rat in the locker room, hit it with a stick.
They always hit it with the stick, right? And it's a really fast kill. It's like, They give it like
a rat was running across and
he slap shotted it into the side of the concrete.
He slap shot, exploded it.
I would like to think that there were some dudes in there showering naked, and he full-on frog baseball splattered it into the showers.
And then people started throwing rats.
It's a octopus, apparently, not a squid.
Oh.
It says the octopus tradition has launched several other creature and object tossing moments. This is not even the same one. So the legend of the octopus is a sports tradition during Detroit Red Wings home playoff games involving dead octopi thrown onto the ice rink. The origins of the activity go back to the 1952 playoffs when a National Hockey League team played 2 best-of-7 series to capture the Stanley Cup. Having 8 arms, the octopus symbolized the number of playoff wins necessary for the Red Wings to win the Stanley Cup.
That's
that is intricate,
so
man.
Who was skating? It was like, they threw an octopus. How many arms does it have? Oh my God, they remembered how many games do we need to win. That never happened.
Also, a sad way, to kill a very smart animal.
I know.
Like an octopus.
Well, you don't put it on there alive and let it freeze to death.
No.
I think you kill it.
No,
I think it dies in your pants.
Oh, man.
I think it dies in your pants.
Well,
and then you get there and
You don't want that thing alive in your pants.
You take it out war. If you put it in your pants and it was trying to get out, it would squeeze you to death.
Yeah.
It would anaconda you, right?
I mean, an octopus is super
Could
smart.
you live if I put an octopus in your sweatpants? Right? If you just had on a pair of sweatpants. Okay, follow me with this. You give me the follow me all the time. I'm going to start giving you the follow me with really crazy scenarios. So I get a pair of regular sweatpants, no fly, just a white tied drawstring. I put I put an octopus in your pants, and I tie it off. Then I duct tape your leg holes. I wrap them with duct tape and your belly with duct tape so the squid can't get it. And how does it get out? It tears you apart.
No,
I think it rips you apart.
No. They're.
It might grab your.
It could beak my inner thigh a couple times, but I'm.
I think it would use its muzzle tendon because it's all muscle. Those things are all muscle, and they're so strong. It can open peanut butter jars and s.
It could just it could fit itself through any hole as long.
Yeah, that's what you should be worried about.
As long as it can get its
would it
beak
do that?
through.
Would it do that though?
I don't know.
Would it try to go through your body?
No.
Would it dig your?
It'll just fall to the bottom of your sweatpants as a
and
lump,
like a big old.
And you'll be freaking out.
You know this. We're gonna have to dig heavier onto this. This is related to nothing, but we're gonna have to dig deeper into this movie, The Whale. I took this picture for the screenshot of the trailer. Of The Whale, and it's the funniest photo I've ever seen in my life. The pure sadness on Brendan Fraser's face in this movie, The Whale. Can't wait to see that.
He's been in a lot of
sad movies,
TikTok videos I've noticed lately.
As the whale?
No, just Brendan Fraser. A lot of stories.
Are you guys going opening night?
No.
Me and Andrea and Maisie are going opening night. We're gonna dress up like whales. We're gonna go. We're gonna.
Why did this particular story? Is it like supposed to be a really good movie?
It's a play that they made into a movie, and it takes place I think the majority of the movie takes place within an apartment, and it's sort of like a sad sort of coming of age tale about a man not being his authentic self through his
It's a psychological drama.
Yeah, his sexuality, his weight gain, his connection with his daughter, I believe.
Brendan Fraser seems
He's
like
the role of a lifetime.
Oh.
Somebody in the chat room said, just like Gary Oldman playing the little person.
Dude, I started watching that last night.
You started watching
Yeah,
Tiptoes?
it's crazy.
Is the whale the new Tiptoes?
No.
No, and I don't know. I don't want to ruin it if it's like a bit for Brad. I haven't finished it, but I wonder if he missed I wonder if he missed the comedy of it. I mean, of course, it is problematic, but
Who missed the comedy? Brad Williams missed the comedy?
Well,
of the fact, it's not supposed to be a serious.
So
movie.
tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Okay, just so
Everything's kind of over the top in it.
we talked to Brad Williams. We interviewed him last Friday.
Yeah.
And it's a podcast. If you haven't listened to it, it's a great interview. It's released on...
Or I'm reading it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, he seemed to say it was a dead serious movie, and then there was no. And I would guess he would know, being a professional humorist. He'd know the humor.
And so there's this movie called Tiptoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where Gary Oldman plays a little person, and Matthew McConaughey's in it, and who's the other actress?
Oh God, I forget her name. She's
Patricia Arquette's in it.
yeah, but who's the big one? There's another one we're missing.
Kate Beckinsale.
Beckinsale's
There
in
it
it.
is.
And we watched the trailer. Watch the trailer for yourself. It's absurd,
Peter
ridiculous.
Dinklage.
Yeah, and
David Alan Grier,
so
who has a ridiculous wig on in this movie. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
So you
all
think
so
it's
ridiculously over the top. It
It's made
reminds
for
me almost like
comedy.
a Christopher Guest movie a little
Okay.
bit, you know?
like it's ridiculous, made for comedy. They didn't mean to do it seriously.
I don't think it was supposed to be funny though, really, because there's parts in it when
It's like bizarre comedy, you know what I mean?
I guess they're using like the M word crazy, and
Yes,
they're
they
like
were.
reacting weirdly to it, and it looks almost like, to me, what it looked more
And
like.
then Gary Oldman's walking on his knees with shoes on his knees.
but
Yeah,
I-
that's ridiculous.
But I think that's all serious. I think this is supposed to be in the same vein as like Juliette Lewis in The Other Sister, where she played a woman with
I
Down
don't think
syndrome.
so.
And even that, when I'm watching it, I'm like, what the hell am I watching right now? You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing. I don't think this was meant to be funny, and I don't think Gary Oldman would hang his star on, I'm going to mock little people by pretending to be one when I'm absolutely not one.
But wouldn't he know that they
Yeah.
like why
Even
it
in
was going
03,
on?
I think you don't do that.
Yeah, and so that lends credence to Samantha's theory that he did it tongue in cheek as a joke more than serious, because how
Does it?
I don't know.
I don't think
I
it
have
does.
to watch it.
I don't think it does, because were we doing that type of humor in 03?
Yeah, it's close to the 90s.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's very close
that's
to the
when
90s. It's considered
I don't know.
a comedy/drama.
remember when Johnny Knoxville did that movie where he was
Yes.
in the Special Olympics and that
Yes.
whole thing?
The Ringer.
The Ringer.
Yeah,
Like
we
that,
went to see that.
that was around 2004.
Yeah, when was that? That was
I-
probably
Probably about the same
I think it
time.
was 2000.
2005.
Okay, yeah.
So not too far off.
I mean, he did. Someone greenlit that movie in 2005, and that was real troublesome.
I
if
mean,
you
it
watch
was and
again.
it wasn't, because I think they were trying to use a good portion of
People with Down
what
syndrome as
people would-
actors.
as actors, and I think
And I
they
know
were trying to
he's-
do something a little different.
And from what I've seen on social media, I don't know Johnny Knoxville, but he's friends with someone who has Down syndrome, and he's helped him throughout his career. And then it's like, so I don't think he'd do this purposely as a mean thing. But if you watch it now, it does not hold up as far as time wise. Like even back then it was cringy, and now I imagine it's level 10 cringe. Right?
When was Shallow Hal? When did Shallow Hal come out?
That
I
that
feel
feels
like-
very early 2000s
Yeah,
too.
I feel like
2001.
That's in the same vein too. You know,
Yeah.
like there were some of these movies that you were taking on topics that were a little spicier or problematic, and maybe you went the unpopular direction with it. I don't know.
Didn't age well.
No.
You know, back then it was, you still can get away with it though.
Yeah.
Late 90s. Anyway, let's end with what'd you do this weekend, Sam?
Oh my God, what didn't I do? I did a lot. I recorded my podcast, Semantics. I
Yep.
also put together a trampoline with my husband.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
Sex swing.
Oh, we only got a couple minutes, so how far do you want to go with this? It's
Whoa.
the hardest thing I've ever done.
Well,
My arm is killing me.
The trampoline, they tell you
They don't seem to be getting less popular.
No,
No.
because they're getting cheaper.
Yeah.
Because
You
They're a
damn-
liability.
Yeah, you can get some
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
good ones.
Yeah, because the homeowners insurance and stuff, like you can get a trampoline, like a full size 14-foot in diameter, like trampoline, for what, $180 now or something like
Yeah.
that. Like
I know
that's
the
cheap.
I know the round ones are cheaper because I'm starting to see a swath of the the rectangle styled professional grade ones that like you see.
Oh, gymnasts use it.
Yeah, you see like the Cirque du Soleil people use them. There's a few over here in Baldwin.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, God damn.
Did you follow the directions?
Yeah, but they were terrible.
Oh,
terrible
yeah, yeah.
directions.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Well, it's a
that-
baba.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
But you're supposed to put on
There's
the
a
springs.
language barrier there.
Yeah.
The springs are supposed to be put on when you put on the mat. Is that you put on a spring and then you put on
Across,
a spring
yep,
on
uh-huh.
cross on the other side.
And then every four, yeah.
The first
It's
two
a
times
never-ending spring fest.
I didn't follow the directions, and
Would
I
you
was
just
like,
go in
you
a
didn't.
circle?
"Well, you like?" I was like,
Oh, by the time you got around to the other side.
okay, yeah, because I was like, yeah, you know, that's being conservative.
It's
just like everything
suggested.
that's like
Yeah.
suggested. Like I don't need. You go back and forth. It take too much time. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, man.
Go
And-
play four.
and
Come on, baby.
I
Say
got-
you love me.
3/4 of the way, and then I'm like, it is now impossible to put the rest on. Like they were right when you said you had to do it. Put one spring and then the opposite
Yeah.
side.
Just like drum, like tuning a drum. That's how you tune drum.
Because if you just put 3/4 the string side or the spring side by side, like you will get to a point where it will not stretch
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, then it's got
and
the
it becomes
strength of a
impossible.
garage door spring.
Yeah.
And that thing will whip
Yeah.
you good.
And then you have to go back and take them all.
All
Yep.
Your wife's yelling at you. I want you to read the directions.
It's
They
also
put it-
terrifying.
Can I tell you something,
Once they get
Sam?
really taut and you have to like use that tool, like I was so afraid it was gonna
Oh, it's
sling off
scary,
and kill
yeah.
me.
Can I tell you something, Sam? Tom and I have worked together for, let's say, what do you think? 15 years? 20 years?
since 04.
Since 04. But what's
When I
interesting is
graduated
that
high school.
he and I have been in predicaments where we've had to put together stuff together a lot. And more than 5 times, we've put something together and had to take it apart because we did it without direction. More than
Yes.
5.
Familiar.
I feel like
We did it in here. We did it in the Air T&D. We've
Yeah,
done it
yeah,
at the other studio.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That's a disability I have.
We have
I
done it.
cannot look at directions
No.
and follow them.
You go, like, you'll literally
it hurts
unpack.
me.
You'll pull everything out of it, just throw the direction, and just start screwing things
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
Doesn't
yeah,
even
yeah,
matter
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. I've learned that my wife will now read the directions and just tell me what
Yeah,
to do.
it's
And that's what
easier.
you should do
Yep.
for me. Just tell me what to do. I'm a worker.
All right.
I'm like a mule.
Got you.
Not the.
Oh, and BT Dubs, not my trampoline, guys. Everybody thought that it was
Yeah.
I was putting together a trampoline for my house. No, it's
Yeah.
Trev's nephew.
I think it's a wishful thinking by our male listeners. They want
Yeah,
to be like,
people
oh,
actually commented on my
yeah,
Facebook and were like,
yeah.
"Hey, we're gonna see video of you jumping on it
hey, are
later."
you one of the juggies now on
You're-
the man show?
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
You're ruining our Christmas present. It's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back.
Isn't that what they were called, the juggies?
Yeah. Juggies.
Let's bring it back.
Old Cactus Steve made that joke
Of
too.
course he did.
Yeah.
All right.
He wants
he
it.
loves juggies. Are we doing another one?
You wanted to do the 26th, right?
Yes. Let's do the 26 segment 1, and let's just do a voicemail email. Make it generic. It'll be so far away.
I want Andrea to tell the entire chat room whose dog it is. My dog. My puppy. My potato. His canines fell out. That's disgusting.
I didn't know that was a thing.
The 2 long ones here,
Mm-hmm.
they just went, they was like chewing on stuff, and then they just went flat, and then they were like flopping
my
around in
God.
his mouth. It was disgusting, Sam. Then he got mad in the middle of the night because it hurt, so he's crying. Well, he's good now. He's good. They fell out, and Maisie saved him in a bag like a mama, and now she wants to make a necklace out of him. He's using his iDig right now. That thing is the fucking best thing we ever bought. It's awesome. It's just got these flaps in it, and you hide treats and kibble, and he uses it until he passes out. It's fucking awesome. Perfect for rowdy little boys. Yeah, he does a crazy. He's like.
So this one's gonna be 20.
20?
At least 20, right? I think 22, something like that. All right.
23, yeah.
All right. Are we doing voicemails and emails?
Yeah.
We'll get those out. Felt like when we had Erin on and it corrected itself, but in the first couple minutes of talking to her, I felt like I was like talking like this. Like I felt like I wasn't, like I couldn't. I'm like, come on, man, what the fuck? My words aren't falling out right.
It's just warming up.
Yeah, but it's
we
like
didn't warm up.
bad. Like it was like. Okay. Why don't you start, sir? 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
What do you want to plug, buddy?
Let's plug our Airbnb. It's in Sanford. It's literally next to the bars. Like, what I mean is you walk from the porch of the house.
Yeah.
10 feet to your left, and there is a row of bars and restaurants.
We created a replica of our studio right behind the bars in Sanford.
Yeah.
And you can live there during the week and weekends if you can book it, and we'd love you to. And it is awesome. It's the safest place to drink and stay in Sanford. No driving allowed. You know what I mean? Like you're
you don't have to drive anywhere.
No,
you walk to every bar and it's right there.
You don't need even a scooter, a golf cart. You don't need nothing. It's so close you can walk.
Yeah, you walk to West End, walk to Hollowbox for dinner. If you want to go Sanfording, our Airbnb is great for that, and the beds are super comfortable thanks to Maloof and our BDM sponsor, and you could check out all the information when you stay there. But they're adjustable beds, all brand new. We've
TV, ice cold air, all the toys. Beers in the fridge.
Good place to hang out if you're Sanfording. Sleeps 4. Go there with another couple.
Go check
split
it out.
the cost.
Go sit in the Adirondack chairs out back and admire our brown grass.
It's bookairtnd.com.
All right, voicemails and emails. Let's get an email first, Sam, because we are neglecting them. Let me ask you guys a question. I've been admiring, and not in a weird way, but I do very much like Samantha's leggings she has on today.
All right, that I feel.
What if mint?
Troublesome?
This is going to be the
like,
troublesome part.
Nice leggings.
No, that's not. Did I say that? See, why are you?
That's what it sounded like to me.
This is not what I said. I was going to say, is it problematic if I start wearing leggings? I'm a little lumpier. You know, I mean,
yeah. You see the bell end in the front.
Is that problematic?
You don't have a bell end.
Are boys allowed to? I know, you're right.
Yeah, a funnel of some sort. Wow, disgusting. I see my sons. I'm like, ew.
Never mind.
Okay, first email.
Oh, I probably shouldn't read this one on ACT.
What is happening today? What happened? Was it bad? Was it about the bell end?
Kind of.
Oh, my God. Was it about the disgusting?
Boat with kite sighting. I noticed this as my wife and I were driving in Winter Haven today. Sorry it is so far out, but it is for sure a person riding a kite pretty high up, pulled by a boat. Can't tell if the person has on skis, though. And
this is what Cypress Gardens...
This is like a Bigfoot sighting because it's so blurry I can't see.
Yeah, it's at the very top. Cypress Garden, basically, what they changed to is like a hang glider, like a traditional hang glider with the white helmet, and you're holding the bar, and you're swooping through the jungles or whatever.
And they're being pulled by a boat.
That's what they use now. And then the guy will release, and then he'll use his hang glider to come down nicely, and then hello and welcome to Cypress Garden. Yeah. I don't think they'd still do it. I think it's Legoland now. I don't know what they do over there. I don't go out of 1 mile radius of my home, but they do now hang gliding versus sky
Franklin
skiing.
kite.
The
Yeah,
sky
yeah.
skiing kites.
Yeah, the hang glider. I mean, they do that on a field being pulled by a plane or other things. You know, like
Yeah.
you could be pulled by a truck and pull someone up to a hang glider, and then they release, and so it's essentially the same. And that technology is tried and true now. It's got some engineering in it. The Ben Franklin kite, like we were talking about on last Friday Free Show, that looks sketchy. It's just a Ben Franklin kite.
I'm surprised we don't have any like electric powered hang gliders now that kids are like zipping around in. Super dangerous, but I'm surprised they don't have like a hang glider that you put together that's aluminum, right? And then it has one tiny electric powered motor. We know they make them. They're in the one wheel. They're in the hoverboards. They're in these goddamn electric bikes that all you stupid old people ride all around the bike trails. You don't even pedal. You don't even pedal one time. You sit on the bike and you ride and
like a motorcycle.
And they're going 60 miles an hour and they stop it. You're not allowed on the bike trails, you idiots.
I'm surprised they haven't had like a electric powered paraglider.
Yes.
But it may be because the weight, because like those powered paragliders, those engines are like just small 2-stroke engines.
Yeah.
But they're loud. Like I feel like if in the powered paragliding world, they would appreciate a more silent engine. Because that thing is like, and it kind of ruins the experience of like flying around peacefully when you got the 2-stroke loud ass engine on your back.
Yeah.
But
I bet it's coming.
It's weight, it's like the batteries and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure it is coming as technology gets better and better. Because that would be way cooler, being able to fly around without the loud ass 2-stroke on your back.
Agreed. Let's try this voicemail right here.
Dan, Sam, BDM Mike, listening to Tuesday's ACT when y'all are talking about animals either in weird places or eating weird stuff. Growing up, we had a pony that would come to do birthdays and stuff, and he would eat cheese pizza and drink Pepsi. BDM for life. Love you guys.
I think that's fantastic. I think ponies that eat cheese pizza and drink Pepsi are fantastic.
Will a horse
eat anything?
Okay.
Yeah.
The only experience I have with horses.
I used to feed my Uncle Hayden's pony its own doo-doo to get back at it because it would doo-doo all over the yard. And then the rule was if you ride the pony, you got to clean up after the pony. And I loved riding the pony cart. It had 2 wheels.
Okay.
Is
this in DeLand? Or
no, hell no. This is in Virginia.
Okay.
But it could have been in DeLand. I mean, Ocala is horse country, but no, they had a pony cart, and you get the ponies are mean as hell. They're mean little, horrible little animals, but I love them. Some say I am the pony of Orlando. So you hook up the pony cart to it. It's got 2 wheels. It looks like those things they used to race. Like a little chariot.
Yeah.
And you whip this pony, it's pissed off, and you fly, and you're hauling ass. The pony cart will haul ass. But then, because the pony's so mad riding in Uncle Hayden's front yard, it would mad race and poop. And it's just mad poop, like running and runs like a pig, where its 2 front arms going at the same, like that.
Oh.
And so, but you had to clean up all the poop. So to get back at the pony, to make myself feel a little bit better as a 12, 13-year-old young Dan, I would feed the pony a little bit of his own. I'd be like, here, eat some of this, you idiot. And if he's mad, eat its own poop. And I'd be like, you're an idiot.
Will it eat a hot dog?
He did it.
Remember there was that video of the horse eating the chicken? You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good video.
So
are you crazy? That's the dumbest thing you've ever asked on our show. Will a horse eat a hot dog? I bet a horse would be like, God damn, this is the most delicious thing I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that often. Like it's
I
always
don't think
eating.
it's good for them.
No, I don't think it's a primary source. I don't think most horse traders feed their horses hot dogs, but they'll eat it.
Will it eat
anything?
like
It'll
a
eat
sub?
Oh, yeah.
Will it eat an
Yeah.
Italian?
It'll eat a Larry's Giant sub.
Will it though?
It will eat a fully loaded, fully involved firehouse sub. Who's got a horse that we can test my theory?
Will a whore eat a sub?
Yeah, type that into your Google. I bet you.
Because
who's got a horse that we can feed a sub to? I will go get a Jersey Mike's way, fully splashed with the juice, juiced up,
hot
cheesesteak with oregano. And then I'll feed it. I'll unwrap it, but I'll do that move where you leave the rest of the paper around the sub,
no one
the
does that.
integrity of the Northerners do it.
It basically says if they're like malnourished or missing something in their diet, they will, but it's not the norm because they're herbivores and their digestive system is designed to process plant matter.
No, so you mean to tell me the horse walks by a Mike's Way and he don't take one bite? You mean to tell me he looks at it, he's like, I am not programmed to eat that, no Mike's Way for me?
Yeah, so if it's a well-fed horse and you brought it a Mike's Way, it won't eat it. It'll turn its nose up.
A gargantuan. What's the one from? What's the Jimmy John's? The gargantuan. If we brought a horse, the Jimmy John's gargantuan, fully juiced up with the peppers, the cherry peppers, the whole nine on it, I'm willing to bet my daughter's life that the horse. This goes back to the sippy cup washing thing. I'm making some declarative hot takes, but this one I stand behind. The horse is going to eat at least one bite of this up.
Okay, the first person to send us a video of a horse eating
a gargantuan.
A gargantuan Jersey Mike sub.
It's not Jersey Mike.
Whatever.
Gargantuan is from
whatever.
What is it, Crazy Larry? What's that place for Freaky Fast where everybody?
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's.
Yeah, he was nude on a shark.
The guy that was, everybody knows that's true. How bad do you think Jimmy John's feels that he's like, I'm not the nude man on the shark.
I'm the rhino.
He just looks exactly like me.
I killed a rhino, not a shark.
We just smile the same way and we have curly hair.
All right. Let's play
Email?
voicemail.
Email.
Hello, T&D Media. I wanted to talk to Tom about his kid's YouTube algorithm. My daughter was right around Tommy's age when we ran into a problem. She, too, would watch video game YouTube when she got a chance. Unbeknownst to us, while she was watching these videos, other inappropriate videos would pop in. One day, she asked her mom if she could play her new favorite song in the car. She put on the Muffin song. Now, this was on a kid's YouTube algorithm. The song is basically about a suicidal muffin. Needless to say, we had to ban her from YouTube for about a year until we felt she was ready to listen to some of the accidental things that may pop into the algorithm. P.S. When I clicked the link to this song, it now has a warning. It did not 5 years ago.
There's a little muffin song for you.
All right.
I'm kind of into it. Oh,
it's great.
Oh my God. Catchy.
I want to die.
I'll show my sons this.
Yeah, I think I would show this to Mason.
Yeah, this is not that bad.
It's really cute.
It is cute.
Again, my biggest fear is I'm raising my sons too soft and they're not traumatized enough and they haven't seen enough.
Maybe they need some good old muffin song in their life to toughen them up.
Oh yeah, because there's other people that their contemporaries or their peers are growing up in way harder environments than they are, so they're going to be released out into the world. I feel like without an advantage. Like some of these other people have been traumatized and they're way older. They've been
they turn it into their superpower.
Yeah, like they're going to be more advanced than you. So you get exposed to some muffin time, some other inappropriate things.
I mean, some people in the chat room are making excellent points. It's like muffins aren't alive to begin with. So whereas the imagery of saying I want to die is not something that I typically would like to discuss with my daughter. If I caught her watching this, I'm not sure I would ban her from YouTube for a year. Now, again, not saying that this guy's wrong, just everybody parents differently. But I'd probably just have a discussion about this is not appropriate, but it's pretty fun.
There's a YouTube Kids. There is a different app called YouTube Kids.
That's all Maisie uses is YouTube Kids. She doesn't have regular YouTube.
I can't figure out how to download it on her TV because I search YouTube Kids and it doesn't show up on my TV.
Yeah, well, some of the things I think your boys get are cooler than the stuff. Maisie gets a lot of baby stuff, man. She's only on YouTube Kids.
Yeah, you're a better parent.
No, I'm not. I don't even know how to put regular.
Well, Andrea is.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Whatever. So
she doesn't deserve that.
Like we started them with YouTube Kids on their own devices, and they have them, but you can't download YouTube Kids app on the TV.
Well, you don't get to watch it then. That's my rule.
And then I'm like, oh, it's not on here. Oh God! And then
give him the muffin.
Max got afraid of something, and then he's like, he told us, he's like, I think you should ban me from YouTube because I watched something. And we're like, what? So it's true. This is what happened. So then we banned it. We were like, okay, we took it away. But then,
but he's like, I want to get
What did he see?
He said he saw something that scared him. It was some sort of witch.
I saw a witch. There's witches on
Oh, it's Loeb.
It was something that
Oh,
scared
don't be
him.
talking about Loeb, Sam. That's
then-
scary to me.
and then
I don't like witches either. I got scared as a little kid. I was a little Max
They're
one
not
time.
afraid of the French witch. That thing's creepy, man.
I
They
almost
grew up
cursed.
with it.
It is
They-
super.
Oh,
that's
it's like
true.
their nanny.
Yeah,
It's true. If your grandma's super ugly,
Yeah, I guess if it was always there.
you know that, right? Like
Yeah.
if your grandma's super ugly, you're the last to find out because you grew up with her warts and all. Like it just rolls right along.
Oh, this is something off topic, but have you
You were
heard?
playing with yourself when you were going. Ooh.
Have you heard about that new show Wednesday?
Yes, of
Yes.
course I have.
Have you watched it?
Not yet.
Okay. Because we watched
It broke the record for the most watched show on Netflix.
It beat Stranger Things, which I'm glad. Get out of here, Stranger Things. I'm so done with you.
So, is it appropriate for my sons? I don't.
haven't
I
watched
think
it.
it's teen though, right?
It is like Stranger.
Some of the stuff
Adam's
they-
Family was pretty like tame, so I would think it would.
But
be
this
fine.
is spicier. It
Now,
seemingly.
Is it? Okay.
Okay, so Stranger Things too scary. Me and Crystal watched that, and we're like, my sons are. This is too scary. They're gonna be
Gotcha.
scared for a long time watching this.
Yeah, I
that
think that's a good call.
extreme, you know. But then we watched Sweet.
It is TV 14.
Now, but so was Sweet Tooth, and Sweet Tooth we watched, and
yeah,
there was.
you guys love Sweet Tooth.
It was a little bit like more, it was like some parts were like, oh, there's a murder, a dead body, whatever, but they were fine with it, right? And all in all, I was like, they're fine.
Okay.
Right? So is it closer to Sweet Tooth or Stranger Things? Because if it's closer to Sweet Tooth, then I'm down for it because we're looking for another family show to watch and something that's at least entertaining for me and Crystal.
I'm getting a Harry Potter vibe from Wednesday. I'm getting there are some monsters or some violence in there.
But it's Harry Potter-ish.
Harry Potter-ish,
Because
yeah.
Stranger Things, it straight up is like, whoa, this is pretty scary for a
when did
kid.
Pardon me, my voice is cracking. I'm becoming a man. When did Stranger Things? Because I checked out. What are some of the things? So the first season, I didn't think it was very scary because you never really saw the Demogorgon.
It started up in the gore.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
The first
they had to. Right?
I would probably show my
First season didn't scare me at all. Well, Barb dying,
They'll the reason they could get through it, but they'll be scared for weeks after, be running to our bed of like terrified.
Okay, everybody's telling me it's like Beetlejuice level scary. That's goof scare. Okay, I think you're
it's
good.
the goofiest scary.
I think you're
yeah.
good.
Although Crystal wants to show my son's Beetlejuice, and I'm like, they may be a little scared of that. Like it is weird.
It is weird.
Like it's like when they
The
pull their nose out.
The sandworm scared me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like thinking that you'd
I
open your
watched-
door into a never-ending sand pit of claymation. Claymation is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about
Large March. That's what started it.
I think
it
you're
scared
right.
everybody as a kid.
I think you're right.
Everybody attaches that with it.
You know, it was
Okay.
her fake birthday or death day
Oh, really?
4 days ago. I
did
saw
not know.
Large
Paul-
Marge?
Yeah, Paul Rubens posts about it every year,
Huh.
apparently, as like a gift to the world.
Speaking of weirdo movies, Crystal somehow started watching.
You and the boys watch Tusk,
No, Little
Oh my
House
God.
of Horror.
Little Shop of Horrors with
oh,
Steve
Little,
Martin,
Little Shop
I was like
of
Little
Horror.
House on the Prairie. And
I'm sorry. Little Shop of Horror.
with a horny dentist.
Yeah, with Steve Martin and stuff.
Yeah.
And Crystal's watching it. So Crystal kept
Oh,
sending.
that's probably terrifying because you have all those plants at your house.
Oh my God!
But the plant is goofy. It's not scary.
Feed me,
Emo? He
Uh,
eats people.
yeah, but it doesn't look scary. It looks like a stuffed animal.
Yeah, it looks like it's got big kissable lips.
yeah.
You know, it has like the old the Rolling Stones mouth.
Like it's obviously fake. It looks like a inflatable arm.
puppet. Yeah.
It looks like a puppet.
Audrey too.
Yeah. Although then, but it's weird though. Overall, it's weird. And then as I was watching it, I was like, I remember watching this too young. And it's scaring
yeah.
me. Like
Yeah.
I watched it when I was like 5 or
Yeah,
something.
same.
You know, like
Me too.
And
But I loved it because I just sang along to all the songs.
yeah, but I remember
I was into weird stuff as a kid.
I remember thinking one day I'm gonna be a horny dentist like that guy. Yeah, seriously. I was like,
I'm
"Ah."
gonna suck the gas.
Yeah.
Which
Why did you grab your boobs when you said that?
because Steve Martin has the apparatus with the thing. It's like that's the scary part. Is like not him getting high on the gas.
Right.
Is the apparatus he has. It's like there's two bulbs
Yeah.
going up and down.
Yeah, the whole thing, the imagery is just terrifying.
yeah. So Tommy was going in and out, but he was intrigued by it, by how weird it was.
I like that he maybe they like musicals. Maybe they're not like their old band.
Well, the Max wasn't interested at all.
He's not into it.
He's the jock of the family.
Okay.
Yeah. And Tommy doesn't like the singing, but he likes how like the weirdness.
I like
of
the
it.
talk.
Just a weird, like the killing in it.
I do remember watching, maybe it was like the first time I thought I was watching something that was considered a dark comedy like that, where somebody is getting eaten. And I remember thinking as a child, why are they laughing at that? Or why is that funny? Like maybe a pseudo bad character falls into a vat of acid and dies, and everybody's like, ah, ha, 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 you know, like, and I'm like, why are they laughing about that? Somebody died, you know, like, I remember as a kid, like, not being able to understand that, and then the light bulb went off in my head, like, oh, well, I am smart enough to know that I'm probably watching something I shouldn't be watching, you know, I knew that I'd overshot, you know, I'd overshot it on this one. This was not something I should be watching.
We should do a contest about the most inappropriate movie you watched at the youngest age, because I bet a lot of our listeners, because my wife has some, like I've talked to
the one with
there
the
was
cave.
no censorship at my house.
You just watch whatever rated R or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, there was in my house, but there were a lot of accidental VHS tapes my dad would come home with that were supposed to be like a good shoot 'em up flick, and they always had boobs and.
I mean, I saw straight up porno at like 4.
4?
Oh my God, that's bad.
How did you see that?
God.
You walk out when the adults is watching.
Go back in your room. We're watching porno.
Did they run and turn it off, or did they just?
No, they yelled at me to get out.
Okay, but you
Get
saw.
Oh, I saw the intro.
Shut your eyes and get some
man.
Kool-Aid.
Explains a lot, doesn't it?
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
it does. That does.
Explains why your husband says you're so good in bed.
I learned young.
Yeah, your husband says
man.
he's got time in.
Oh, my biggest fear is my son's grabbing my phone and somehow I didn't go off business.com
Yeah.
and then they just look at it and then they expose to something like and that you can never go back from there. Like you see something like that.
Innocence lost.
And so I'm like real careful about all that. But yeah, no one was careful back, you know.
No.
And you didn't know the repercussions of like if they accidentally saw this. I'm sure, like now I would be devastated for a long time if my sons were exposed to something like that. And
they will be. It'll probably be at school.
It's gonna happen. But like I've had so many close calls, and then like I've had so many. Like, people text me inappropriate things just to be funny, like whether it's a fantasy football, just a meme or some guy, you know, who knows. So I just had to decide, no, you don't get my phone anymore. Like, I had to just be, that's it, because there's too many close calls. It used to be when May was younger, I'll just hand it to her to appease her, hand it to her to calm her down. We're at the car wash. She's acting like a baby, and I hand her the phone, like, here, I can't do it anymore. You ask too many questions. You know too much stuff. But you just can't do it.
But then you look back and you're like, well, I remember when I saw like
I wanted to see it. I was seeking it
out.
out.
Yeah. Well, I remember I was like, I had to have been Tommy or maybe 8, 9, 10. I was over at my buddy Joe's house, and his older cousin had like some porno magazine. And he's like, "Hey, look at this!"
Oh yeah.
And then we sat on his couch. His mom was
I remember
just working
feeling
on
affected. I was like, "Oh my God,
what
happened?" I felt like I was tired.
Every page I was traumatized.
Yeah, I was tired.
But I was
left there
there's
riding my
crazy
bike.
images
I was
in
like,
there.
I can barely push my legs to ride the bike.
I was guilted into watching, but then I liked it.
You loved it. You loved it.
But then again,
you knew what your purpose was now.
So, I mean, it didn't ruin me that bad, right?
I mean, like, no, I don't think it ruins people, but I am with you on the innocence loss. You know what the story you've told me that is buried and burned into my brain was you told that story about a teacher buddy of yours who the teacher friend of his accidentally played
the Giving Tree.
Played something that was like
they were playing the Giving Tree on YouTube, and then it just rolled into they were talking with another teacher. They didn't know it rolled into the next YouTube video, which was a parody
suggestion
of like the Giving Tree called the Very Giving Tree, and then it started playing that, and the kids saw that, and then the parents. Although I watched it and I was like, nah. It's it's not that bad. I mean, we're not talking about Hustler magazine. You know?
Right.
I saw some. I mean, stuff. Even now, I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. I still
I'm like, wow.
I saw things.
Ice.
I
saw
I saw ice. I saw yellow pee-pee. I saw things that I still to this day at 46. I don't know what I saw. It's almost like a UFO sighting in my mind.
I wouldn't even look it up
at
this day. I don't even seek that out. It's too much.
I do remember that the episode, the magazine that I had, I remember that it was a Hustler magazine. And for little boys, it's always a Hustler magazine. It's too far. It's
Yeah.
too
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
Why
It's
can't
not
it be
like
a Playboy?
Yeah, Playboy
You
is
know,
just nudity.
I'd give my right hand to have been a Playboy boy, but I was not. I was a hustler boy. And when I saw it, I still remember.
That's why you're messed up.
Yeah, it's why I messed up. I
Just,
blame it
so
on the
horny.
hustler.
Yeah.
And then I also remember that the girl she was a tan woman, and she had tanned so much that you couldn't tell where her nipples were. And she was also wearing a beaver tail red surfer wetsuit. But she did that move where you zipped it down and you hung them to the front.
Oh, yeah.
And I still remember it. And she had crazy curly 90s hair.
Yeah.
Crazy curly crimpy. Like sizzly crimpy hair.
Oh, man.
That lady changed my life.
As soon as kids get cell phones, they're looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
It's on there, and they're showing their friends.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no way I can even
100%.
hide Tommy from it or whatever.
No.
Really more worried about Max. Tommy, like me, you can
block it out. Yeah, he's
you're
got,
looking at
nature
it. Max will be
sunglasses.
emotional about it, you know,
yeah.
like
He's
be
like,
like,
I love
Why
you,
is he
dude.
doing that to her?
It'll freak Max out. I'm like, don't show it to him, but they will. They'll show it to him.
Yeah.
All right, bye. That is the Monday, the 26th
26th.
one.
We don't have anything there?
We just have two with Aaron.
Monday, 26, 1. That is 1.
And we should have two,
Yep,
1 and
got
2.
it. Yep.
All right, so now we got tonight done because we had 3 and 4 done.
Yeah.
Next Monday's done. The 26th done. So, and we have tomorrow 3 and 4 done. So we'll just.
We have Wednesday 3 and 4 done.
Oh, we don't have anything for tomorrow.
Tomorrow we had 3 and 4 done, but we moved that to tonight's. Remember,
Okay,
it was
cool.
Dizzle Funk.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Are we going to lunch?
Yeah.
Yes,
Have a good lunch, guys. We'll be back soon.
On
we'll be on the
Facebook.
BDM show.